just took my morning walk and I wanted to bring you to my favorite fountain near my house here in Orange County, Coto de Caza. And I wanted to tell you a quick story about a client of mine. So we're in a coaching session and she tells me that here she is 7 years old and she's in her upstairs bedroom and she is playing her favorite music. And she's this little girl who's just full of energy and freedom and aliveness. And so she just starts dancing in her bedroom like no one's watching. And she's dancing freely and jumping around and twirling around until all of a sudden she hears this screaming from outside of her bedroom window. And she peers out the window and she sees her mother standing next to a man down on the street, looking up at her through the window. And her mother is screaming furiously. Now, my client goes on to tell me that her mother was absolutely furious that she was dancing freely in her bedroom because she said it was inappropriate because other people could see. Now, that created very much a strong emotional impact. In some ways, you might call it an emotional scar for my client. And this matters because for the rest of her life, here she is, an adult middle-aged woman, feeling very much in some ways like this little girl within her that was told it's not okay and it's not safe to be free. It's not safe to feel good in your body. It's not safe to express yourself and to shine your light. And so we worked together and we were able to completely pluck out that old weed that no longer served her so that she could be the leader, the entrepreneur, and the beautiful woman shining her light, and that she could also go anywhere she wanted to and dance as freely as she would love to dance. Now, this isn't an uncommon story. Many amazing, beautiful souls that I work with feel in some ways stuck in that area where that emotional scar got created. Now, they may not be consciously aware of it, but that emotional scar could keep them from actually manifesting and creating the relationship or the love that they want, the body that they would love and desire, and the loving relationship with their body to really launch that entrepreneurial endeavor or create the results in their life and business that they would love to create. Now, in a moment, I'm going to teach you 3 simple, powerful ways to feel more confident and amazing in your own skin. And if we're meeting for the very first time, my name is Jennifer Jimenez, and I am the founder and director of the Health and Wellbeing Division at Brave Thinking Institute. And I consciously made a decision to not wear any makeup or do my hair fancy today, because one of the ways that I walk my talk and that I live what I teach is to be able to show you who I really am, no filters, just you and me in real life, and help you know that I too once suffered from a lot of body image dysmorphia, body shame, and I spent hours and hours trying to change my body to feel good, to feel confident. And I no longer suffer from that. I feel amazing in my own skin. I'm 47, just turned 47 at the time of filming this. And I love my life and I love me. And that matters because it impacts everything I do. It impacts every area of my life. So let's talk about these 3 simple, but really amazing ways to feel confident and amazing in your skin. The first is to notice what you're noticing. It's actually one of our Brave Thinking tools here at Brave Thinking Institute. So to notice when the inner critic, when that chatter, that negative chatter rises up, and to be able to even hear it is honestly one of the first steps that I work with my clients on. So much of the time, it's a highly negative parent or a highly negative coach or a teacher that was constantly criticizing this person that I'm working with. And when they begin to really listen to the voice and they ask themselves, whose voice is this really? They're able to separate their human self and human programming with what I like to call your higher self, or I call her your wise woman within. Your higher self is all loving. Your higher self would never tear you down. Your higher self is like the best friend that you are to those that you absolutely love. That if you heard someone that you love being talked to negatively, being torn down, you would absolutely stop whoever was doing that in their tracks and say, do not talk to that person that I love that way. And so you have that ability within your own being. Your higher self can step in and step up and begin to override the voices of doubt, the voices of, criticism, the voices of all those negative voices. You know the voices that I'm talking about. When you get on the scale and you've gained a pound, that voice. When you look in the mirror and you see something that maybe you've been taught by social media or by our society that you shouldn't love, you can just pause that voice. Notice what you're noticing. And then the second is become the higher self. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself the way your best friend would speak to you. And then the third step is to express yourself freely. That might be just speaking up when it's time to speak up. That might be when you're at a park and you hear music, or you're at the grocery store and you hear music and you feel like dancing down the aisle. My kids hate that, by the way, but I do it anyways because I love living life and being free and expressing myself freely. And the universe reads your intention by what you put your attention on. So if you're constantly putting attention on, oh, I can't, oh, I should be quiet, oh, I'm going to pull back, versus, you know what, I'm going to go out and write that book. I'm going to launch that entrepreneurial business. There's a truck going by. I don't know if you can hear that. But I'm going to do the thing that I've been put here on this planet to do. And just know that you matter, you're worthy, and that you are loved. There is a power breathing you that loves you. And you can tap into that higher self, that inner voice within you that is all loving, and go and create and live a life you love. So if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this with your friends. Give it a thumbs up and a heart or a like. And until next time, we're going to shut off the voices of fear, doubt, worry, and criticism. And we're going to turn up the voice of the higher power, the voice of love, and the voice of encouragement, so that you can feel amazing in your skin. Because to create a body that you love begins with loving the skin that you're in today. See you soon.